right. Back. Oh, angle's a little bit worse than it was before, but we're back. Hi, I'm Chelsea. I suck at video games, so I'm going to stream myself painting instead. And we're actually going to get started on the Magic School Book Nook. I'm ready. Who's ready to paint a floor? We're going to paint a floor today. Try to get it done. So, hi, Servo. Hi. So, hey, Liv. Good to see ya. So I'm gonna run through a few things because I'm trying to get these set up so that I can put them on my YouTube channel, just for, you know, posterity's sake of putting everything together, because this is a huge project. So I'm gonna quickly run through a few points, while people are filtering in, and because I just like to talk to myself, but I think this is stuff that's good to have as an explanation of what this project even is. So, a book nook, if you're not familiar, is a diorama, a miniature diorama that is designed to decorate a bookshelf specifically. I've already made one right here. This one I made over winter break, and I bought myself another kit from the same seller. I did double check. The seller's name is Martin's Gift Shop on Etsy, and that's the Etsy seller that sells the unbuilt kits. So that's where I got this one from. And then I have another kit that is set up for another series at some point. And then my lovely, darling, significant other, Adam, went ahead and bought me this massive Magic School book nook that is definitely not inspired by Harry Potter in any way, shape, or form. And I'm just really excited to do the Magic School first because it's going to be huge and it's got moving parts and electronics, and I figured we'll just do that one first. So it's going to be great. These are things that are going to be kept on my bookshelf. I'm going to have to find some space, especially for this guy because he is huge. He's big. I'm going to show you in just a sec. But basically, I got into book nooks a couple months ago because I found them on Etsy. You can purchase them pre-made on Etsy, which is really cool because there's a lot of extra detail and like sculpting that goes into it. But what I did was, by purchasing through Martin's Gift Shop, I got the flat packaged laser cut wood. And so instead of paying hundreds of dollars for someone else to do the labor of painting and construction, I pay a flat fee for the materials, and then I take on the labor cost of then having to paint and put it together. So I felt like that was a more affordable means of doing this. And so that's why I wanted to stream, was because this is a pretty long process, and so I'm like, why the hell not, you know? I gotta unwind after a long day at school, so, you know, might as well get some other people taking a look. So that's what we've got here. In addition to painting my book nooks, I do also like painting miniatures for tabletop RPGs. I have them back here, and that's a Parks and Rec reference, but the problem is I'm not entirely sure who would know. I mean, somebody knows me well enough to know that Parks and Rec hits me right where I live, but I'll figure it out later. We'll keep it a mystery for now. Glad to have you with us. But anyway, yeah, so at some point I might, you know, when I get real frustrated and I really just want to break this thing over my knee, I might take a break from the book nooks and I might do a miniature instead and bounce back and forth. We'll see how it goes. This might not even last that long. We'll see how it goes. But I at least need to get the Magic School somewhat constructed. So let me just give you an idea of how big this thing actually is. So I pulled out the pieces. This is not all of them. At some point I might have to go through the boxes again, but I want to paint, so. But I pulled out the base pieces for the floor and then the 3 walls that form the actual diorama box, and I just wanted to show you how big this thing is actually gonna be. I did double check. This thing is twice as wide as one of these, so it's massive. This thing might take up a whole shelf on my bookshelf back here all on its own. And the other part that makes these interesting is they're very intuitive sometimes. They are put together like a puzzle piece, or like a puzzle with pieces, and none of the kits that I've gotten have come with instructions. So, I say it's intuitive, but it's more like trial and error, and a lot of what we might be seeing on the stream is, hey, try and figure out where these pieces go. What up with that? So, in any case. And at some point, these will be glued together. I'm not doing it yet. I want to get things painted and constructed before I actually glue all the walls together, but I can at least, maybe. Oh my good lord. This is what you signed up for when you decided to come to my stream. Okay. Just go in the thing. There we go. Okay. So, this is the general size that it will be. It's bigger than my head. Like, my head could fit in here. So, it's gonna be huge, but I'm really excited, and like I said, there's a lot of moving parts and some electronics that are going to go into it, but we're gonna start simple because we can't get to the complicated stuff until we actually do some painting. I want to paint and then actually construct and put things together. So today, I figured we would start off with the simplest part, where I can actually do some detail and I, don't have to do a large amount of surface, and I figured we would do the floor. So this is the panel that we're going to be doing today. Now, I realized something interesting, and I'll show you in a second, but I like the idea of starting with this because it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward, and this actually isn't going to necessarily get messed up by a lot of other parts that need to get glued on there or need to be glued in there. So we're going to start with the floor. And I like the idea of doing kind of a mosaic with this because it's got this really cool pattern in the middle of the floor, and it's surrounded by a lot of this cool stonework. So I think I can do something pretty cool with some colors to make it a mosaic and to kind of get this started. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm working with here. The setup has been adjusted a little bit, as you can see. But I finally went ahead and brought out my paints. So, this kit that the whole Magic School book Nook came in, it came with acrylic paints. I have decided not to use those, at least to start, because we have this gigantic kit of massive army painter colors. And this is our kit that we use to paint miniatures, and we've got a lot of options, and I'm really familiar with all the options that we have, and so I want to use these instead. So we're going to go with these, and if this turns out to be a really bad idea, then I'll use the acrylics from the kit. So that's a great question, Professor. So what I'm envisioning right now, I like the idea of doing some kind of a mosaic on the floor. Now, this is definitely not Hogwarts. Absolutely not Hogwarts. But it is a magic school, which means that it's very old and it's going to have a lot of stone elements to it. So there's going to be a lot of gray in here. But I really like the idea of this middle piece getting some color to make it look like a tiled mosaic. And I was thinking about what to do, and my first instinct was to go with blue. But then I started remembering some of the other colors I have in my box. And I really got set on using this one, which is called Wizard's Orb. And it's kind of funny because it's teal, it's more of a teal color, and it accidentally matches my shirt, and it accidentally matches my drop cloth. So I'm thinking I'm gonna use that here in the middle for part of it. And then we also have a lot of metallics, and I don't want to go crazy with the metallics, but I love the idea of like this little bit here on the edge, like getting some really cool like inlay, some like filigree inlay. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, because I think I could probably do two colors here in the middle with the swirly bit, and then I would need something that could coordinate well with this teal. So I'm gonna have to have a look and see. Now this is the part that's a little bit weird. So while I'm sorting through my colors, let me just go ahead and share the weird part. So this book nook has a staircase and has staircases. It has stairs. And it has one in the middle that is able to turn. Like, you can physically turn the staircase just like it happens in Harry Potter, where, the staircases move. So this is where that staircase is going to be attached. This is the front plating, and the staircase will be attached through this hole in the center. But I realized today that the way that this is cut out, and I don't know that you'll be able to see it super well, but there's a gap in between the spirally bit in the middle, and I'm almost afraid that that's supposed to come out. Because normally when there's a gap, that means that the wood was laser cut so that you can have perforations to pop pieces out. I'm really worried that this middle section is supposed to be removed. And then we're gonna lose all this cool spirally mosaic goodness. And I don't love that. But I'm gonna go ahead and paint it anyway, and then we can we'll see what happens. Who the heck knows? Who even knows at this point? So, okay. So I'm looking at my box of colors here. Ooh, okay, this might be a good one. I don't think I've used this one before. You would think that I would have touched all these colors at some point, but no, a lot of these I haven't even touched. So I found this deep blue right here. And I kind of feel like those two could look really cool together. With some metallic accents. Like, I feel like those two swirled in the middle could coordinate really well with gray. And then we could get some really cool metallics in there. Because my other option would be something purple. But I don't love the purples that I've got in here. Orc blood. We could always go with orc blood. Oh, alien purple. There we go. That's the alien purple. Which, I mean, it could look good. That's a little more Mardi Gras than what I really want to do. Happy Mardi Gras, by the way, even though it's a couple days late, if you celebrate. See, we've got lots and lots of blue options. So that one's ultramarine. I don't love how it looks in that lighting. But I feel like the deep blue is probably going to be... It's probably going to be the better... Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking the deep blue and the wizard's orb. And then what I'm probably going to do for the metallic accents... I always lean towards silver because I prefer silver, but we've got some really cool brass metallic in here. And so I might do some combination of silver and brass metallics to put together. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with the deep blue and the wizard's orb for our our mosaic in the middle. And then we're gonna need some gray for the stone on the outside, because this bit here, I envision this to be like, not cinder blocks, but kind of like cinder blocks. So I'm envisioning this to be shades of gray. And I think I want to keep them fairly light. So I'm gonna go with, I don't think we actually, Arctic gray. This is a really old bottle. The label is worn off. So Arctic gray, and I don't think I want uniform gray. No, uniform gray is too dark. Ash gray is the other one. So they look similar, but the Arctic gray definitely is lighter. And when they dry, there's enough of a difference that they don't look identical, which is really nice. That's one thing that I figured out with painting stone, and I'll show you that here in a second. You can't do every single stone the same exact color. When you're putting them next to each other, you have to have different shades of gray to make it look a little bit more real. Because, I mean, unless your stone wall is painted, then all the stones aren't going to look identical. So, okay. We'll start with that for now. And then we'll kind of see how it goes. I'm toying with the idea of maybe doing some kind of like sandstone color. Oh, I didn't even think about these. These could be really cool as a metallic, actually. That could be really, really cool. So we have the color in the middle. We have a little bit of metallic out here. Get some metallic in there. I'm kind of liking this idea. Okay. So, if I'm gonna do a sandstone kind of color... No, not tan leather. I'm trying to remember what I used on this one. I think it was desert yellow, but I don't love the idea of using desert yellow. Griffin tan. Might be. No, I don't have any glow-in-the-dark paint. And that would be cool. But we have to remember that this kit came with electronics. So there will be little electric elements that have to be put in later, which will help illuminate the book Nook when it's sitting on the shelf. So as much as I love the idea of like glow-in-the-dark runes, I don't know that we necessarily need it. Or at least I don't think I need it enough to go out and try to buy some glow-in-the-dark paint. Gotta think. Gotta think about it. Okay, so that's Griffin tan. And the last time I used this, it was on a gigantic bird miniature, which is an oxymoron, but I used it on a gigantic bird, so I just keep thinking of this as a bird color. I might have to come back to the sandstone. I might just need to start and see how I like these colors together, and then I can go back and do the triangle outline a little bit later. Okay. Also, we'll move those out of the way for now. So, palette, this came in the kit with the actual Book Nook pieces. And I actually like this better. We have a wet palette where you use a sponge that is soaked in water, and that helps keep the paints moist so that they don't dry out, which helps your paint go a little bit farther. It's disgusting. I hate it because the sponge mold. It's not great. So I'm really happy that I got this little plastic palette that I can use instead that can be washed out and not get mildewy. And the kit also came with some brushes, but I'm gonna stick with what I know, which is our big old set of brushes right here. How extra, right? How extra. But I know these brushes, I like these a lot, and I figure we should wear these out before we start with anything new. So, yeah, I think he'll be good. He'll be good to start with. So, some of these really small details in here, I'm gonna need a finer point brush. But for right now, we're just gonna start off with the swirly bits and go from there. So, I think I wanna do, because there's stripes and then there's wedges in between. I think I wanna do the stripes in the green, or sorry, the wizard's orb. And I think I wanna do the wedges in the blue. So I'm just gonna start with that. That's the fun part. I'm gonna start in there. We can figure out the other parts later. We've got time. I got nowhere else to be. So. Now this is a fun little thing about painting the wood that I should have known, and I didn't know until I actually painted my first one. The wood soaks up this paint like nobody's business. It's really funny. And I think it would do that with any kind of paint, but it's really funny in particular to me because this paint I've used on plastic, I've used on pewter, and it was just really funny, like, just soak it all up. I love it. So, now, because it's wood, there's probably a better technique. I should clarify for those of you who are meeting me for the first time, hi, I don't consider myself artistic, so I don't know that I'm actually using any of this stuff the right way. I just know how I've used it in the past and how I've kind of observed other people use it. Oh my gosh, this thing is all liquidy. Gross. I'm gonna have to get a paper towel. Gross. Anyway, so I'm saying that because I don't know that we necessarily, there we go, have to mix water into the paint when we're just using the paint on the wood. But typically I mix water in with the paint to dilute it a little bit to give it like an ink consistency when I'm painting my miniatures. And that allows better layering, that allows me to do, to layer different like shades on top of each other. And I just like the way it looks. It almost looks more like watercolor to me, and I've seen a couple of different miniature painters do that. So I don't know that it's necessarily the right thing to do for wood, but I'm gonna go ahead and just add a few drops in, because I know how it works other times. So I'm very happy with this drop cloth, because this drop cloth, I can just blot my brush right on it instead of having to use a paper towel, which is really cool. So, okay, what did I say I was doing? The stripes are going to be in green, and the wedges are going to be in the blue. That's what I said. And my green is a big sludgy mess. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright. So we'll just see how this goes. So I'm going to start with the stripes first. Hope my head's not getting... Now this looks like it's going to take a really long time. And it probably is. But the finer point brush is going to give me better control with the lines. Oh, there we go. I need to saturate the bristles a little bit more. Here's a tip I can give with my limited artistic experience. If you're painting something that's... this might work for anything, but if you're painting a miniature that's made of like metal or plastic, or you're painting wood, the best way to soak up the excess paint is to get the bristles of your brush dry, and then you just go back over it so that the dry brush can soak up that extra moisture. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back over this again. I don't know if this is because the green paint just didn't mix well, the pigment with the solvent, or what, but it's fine. I'll go over it again. And I'm gonna take a break super fast from the green, because I want to see how this blue actually looks next to it. I better love it, because I'm not gonna be able to just wash it off of the wood. So I better love this combination. Boy, oh boy. So. Yeah, so that's a bit what it'll look like. Now I'm gonna have to go over it again because it's not super saturated of color in the wood, so I'm gonna have to go through it again. But I like the combination of the green, the kind of sea foamy wizard's orb teal that goes along with the blue. So we'll keep it. We'll keep it. So I'm just gonna go around, because I like to do things in an orderly, organized way. I'm gonna go around and do all the stripes first, and then go back and do the wedges. I don't know what Adam's doing next door, but he's cackling like a madman. So, even though I'm not streaming a video game, I figured we could talk about video games. Because I recently tried to pick one up that I haven't touched in at least 4 years. Something like that. I agree with you, actually. Will, you're right, it does kind of give it an aged look. The only issue I have with it looking aged is just that it doesn't quite have that stone feel, or that tile feel. But it looks like if I go over it with one more coat, I think it should be fine. We'll give it a chance to sit, and I'll decide if I need to go back later. Anyway, so, video games. So, I haven't beat Twilight Princess yet. In almost 15 years. I haven't beat Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Even though it has long been and continues to be my favorite Zelda game. Yes, I still put it above Breath of the Wild. It's very close, but I still put it above Breath of the Wild. Anyway, we got Twilight Princess back when it was on the Wii. And then in 2016, my brother and I bought the Wii U. Do you remember the Wii U? Weird system. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. I'm not surprised that they dropped that thing like a hot potato and immediately started developing the Switch. Not surprised at all. Anyway, and when the Wii U came out, we primarily bought it for Smash Brothers. But then it was announced that they were going to be making a remastered edition of Twilight Princess. Similar to how they had done a remastered edition of Ocarina of Time, which I think they remastered for Wii. Anyway, so they put out a remastered edition, and of course I was like, I gotta buy it. I love that game, I need to buy it. So I bought it, and I was bound and determined that I was gonna beat Twilight Princess. That was in 2016, and I haven't beat it yet. Going off track super quick, it was really weird because we actually hooked up the Wii U last night so that I could play, and I held the controller up next to the Switch. It's just astounding. They literally said, hey, the cool part about this system was the controller. Let's just make that its own thing. And they made the Switch out of it. Just weird. Just weird. Also, it doesn't let you use a GameCube controller for the Wii U. Well, at least not for Twilight Princess. It lets you use the GameCube controllers for Smash, which was fine, but not for Twilight Princess, which I found interesting because Twilight Princess was the last Zelda title released on the GameCube, and then they didn't bother to make that control option available for the remastered. Anyway, I still haven't beat Twilight Princess, and I got in there last night, and I'm thinking, okay, I can pick this up pretty easy. I can find my last place. I can remember how all these controls work. I know exactly what I'm doing. I did not know exactly what I was doing. I was actually very mad, and I remembered why I stopped. Because the level that I was stuck at was the city in the sky. And I think at that point I was just frustrated because, one, the city in the sky is a boring dungeon. It's not even a cool dungeon. And I felt really bad because this was Adam's first time seeing Twilight Princess, and he was stuck looking at the city in the sky. He didn't get to see, like, the Arbiter's grounds. He didn't get to see, like, the Zora Temple. He didn't even get to see any of the stuff leading up to getting into the Zora Temple. Anyway. And then we also forgot, or I also forgot, that the city in the sky is where the Ukas live. To which my dear darling beloved husband looks at them and says, "That looks like a Kaminoan crossbred with a chicken." Which just ruined everything for me. And they are loud and annoying, and they're the worst. So, I also found out I do not remember how any of the controls work. Thanks to all of the hours that I pumped into Breath of the Wild. So, I do not remember how anything works. And I kept, like, pulling out my boomerang, but I thought I was pulling out my sword, and oh no, for the Wii U, the sword control is B instead of Y, even though we trained you to use Y in Breath of the Wild. Haha, you're such a fool because you went backwards. I felt like I was being punished, but anyway. So, at some point, I need to finish Twilight Princess. And I do still love it. Like, I was looking at the graphics, and obviously, we're talking... I mean, we're looking at 10 years since it originally came out. It came out in 2006. And then they remastered it, which doesn't mean that they redid all the graphics. It just means they gave it an HD upgrade. So, it definitely looks better than it did on the Wii back in 2006. But the graphics are still really blocky and really chunky. They're definitely not nearly as fluid and graceful and beautiful as the Breath of the Wild graphics. And that could be a turnoff for some people, but I still liked it. Like, I'm like, dang, this still looks pretty darn good. Still looks a hell of a lot better than Skyward Sword, I can tell you that. I never bothered with Skyward Sword. I think I tried the tutorial and I watched my brother play, and my brother finally got to the point where he met up with Fee, the companion for that game. And I was just like, nope, I'm out. And honestly, it's probably just bias on my part, because Midna is... I love her so much. I love Midna so much from Twilight Princess. She's the best companion, she's the most dynamic companion, and I think they tried to recapture that magic with Fee, but they made her annoying, and I didn't like it. I also think it's extremely weird that they tried to put in this theme of, oh yeah, the Master Sword has a spirit living inside of it. That's why it's alive. Which never comes up again in any of the other games. And say what you want, Nintendo has said that the games are a continuum. Hi, Kicker! Not a continuum, a timeline. They have clarified that the Zelda games are all connected, and the closest speculations that we have at this point is that Breath of the Wild is the latest in the timeline. So it's the farthest in the future. Skyward Sword is the beginning of the timeline. So that means that if Fee existed in the Master Sword, then at some point she should have shown up again later in the timeline, and Breath of the Wild gave them that opportunity. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So I haven't beat Twilight Princess. The first time I tried to play, I think I got stuck Arbiter's Grounds. I got to the Arbiter's Grounds when I was like 13, and I stopped because school happened and I was frustrated, and I get to this point where I just get too frustrated and I don't have fun with video games. So I got to the Arbiter's Grounds and I stopped. And then I picked it up again a few years later, before the remastered version came out. And all I remember of that one is I was stuck in the not the Gerudo mines, the Goron mines. Stuck in there for months because I'm an idiot, and it was the absolute worst. So, anyway. And my brother keeps giving me a lot of grief because he's like, you like the game so much, why don't you just finish it? And I'm like, because the puzzles make me frustrated. Because I get to a point where I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and there's clearly something that I missed in that room over there, and I haven't done it yet. I'm honestly considering just completely wiping my file and just starting over, all over again. And I obviously don't have a good perspective because I haven't finished the game. But all the coolest stuff happens at the beginning with the spirits of light and like all the different temples and I know people didn't like the wolf levels, but some of that was some of the best lore development. And the fact that they keep using that lore in the games that have followed, like the names that were used for the regions of Hyrule have consistently been used in the other major console titles for Zelda. And they originated in Twilight Princess. And I'm just like, it's so good. There's so much lore building. And all of that happens at the beginning. And so I feel like I need to start over to really help Adam understand why I love this game. But then there's part of me that's like, the Goron Mines will take me a month, and the Zora Temple is really frustrating. And the, some of the stuff to get to, just some of the stuff is really, really aggravating to get through. So, I don't know. I also feel like well, I can't say it was hard because I played for like 10 minutes last night and then I rage quit. But I noticed that I was having a really difficult time going back into the puzzle mindset, especially after putting so many hours into Breath of the Wild. And I figured it out. I'm like, I prefer the open world games because if I get to a hard part in there, I can just leave. I can just ditch. With regular OG Zelda titles, no, you gotta go through everything in order. You can't just skip out. But with Breath of the Wild and Witcher and Elder Scrolls, the ones that I've played that are open world, it's like, oh, this quest is too hard for me. Well, it's not important anyway. I can just go. Okay. They seem to be drying fairly evenly, which I like. Oh, what does this say? Nope, that's not the right one. Ooh, well. I don't like it, but I feel like this gives a better perspective of the color with the yellow light. I think it looks better for you on screen. I don't like how it looks here, but we'll use it. Anyway, they seem to be drying to be fairly even. And I think Will's got a good point that the worn look is kind of nice. So I'll decide if I need to go back over, but I really want to go through and paint these wedges right now. I'm honestly surprised that I haven't used this dark blue before on something. I don't know. I tend to go for the lighter blues when I'm painting my miniatures. Yeah, I'm liking that. Once they dry, they'll get a little bit lighter. But I'm liking how those are going together. And I think once some more gray is put around it, once we get some more surroundings, I think it's gonna... Background? Is that the word I'm thinking of? You get what I mean. Once we get some more, I think it's gonna look even better. And it's not gonna be so... in your face. I don't know if this is what you guys needed today. This is what I needed today. Just some calm music and a nice, somewhat mindless activity. It went off the line. This is a weird observation to make, but I'm very glad that there's no grout that I have to paint. That was a nightmare. There's some stone walls in this, and I wanted to go through and I used a tan color, like a sandstone color, to make grout in between the stones. It looks fantastic. It was an absolute pain because I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to cover up anything that had accidentally smeared over into the actual stones out of the grout part. Ooh, I just had an idea. I don't know how much this is going to get covered up in the middle when the stair goes in. I almost wonder if I want like something bright, like a bright purple. And oranges and had like a whole Eye of Sauron thing going on. Well, it's fine. Frankly, as long as it doesn't look like a big old toilet, I'm gonna be happy. I feel like that's a motto for my life. As long as it doesn't look like a big old toilet, I'll be happy. Obviously this isn't three-dimensional, but eventually, when it gets all put together, it's going to be like a big 3D coloring book. Okay. So for the walls, we're not to that part yet, but the walls are interesting. Because there's the base part that I showed you earlier that is the just bare wood. And then there's a facade that goes over them that gives a brick pattern. And that's separate, that's going to be glued on separately. And so what I think I'm going to do with the walls, I think I'm just going to spray paint the base wood. And I might spray paint the facade too, and then go back in and do some extra detailing. But I don't want to spend a bunch of time and energy with a teeny little brush trying to paint a big old piece of wood that's like this big. When I could spray paint it, especially since the base wood is just going to get covered up by a lot of other stuff. So that's something that I'll probably do off screen. Get some prep done before the next round. Sorry, I got in the zone there for a second. Just want to get these wedges done. The square bits are going to be even more thrilling, I promise. Even more thrilling and stunning. I made a smudge. That actually came off fairly easy. Wait a second. Witchcraft. This really is a magic school. Like I said before, I'm really not trying to make this a carbon copy of Hogwarts. I'm not about that. I want to make it my own. Yeah, you know, I really feel like I need a purple or something. I'm getting a peacock vibe almost, and I just feel like there needs to be something purple in here. Now I gotta decide. I gotta find a good purple first of all, and then I gotta decide exactly where I'm gonna put it. I'm going to go back over a few of these spots that are just a little bit bare. Just to help them be slightly more vibrant. I like having this drop cloth just smear paint on. Okay. Those will dry and they'll look a little less vibrant. A little less out there. Just go back over this guy in particular. I think this was the first one I did, looking at it. I think I may have soaked up too much excess paint. And that's why he's looking a little empty. Oh, speaking of Hogwarts, even though this definitely is not Hogwarts, my school is putting on a production of Puffs, which is the parody, the official parody. Not the parody musical that matters, but it's the official parody. So they're putting it on at my school, and they, oh no, I got some green on the bare part. They invited some teachers to come and be teachers in the show. Hogwarts teachers. Not official Hogwarts teachers, but so we had to pick what class we would want to teach. And then we had to write a script for ourselves that would be an interaction between us and the puffs in question. I fretted over that decision a lot, but I finally settled on divination. Not what I think I would really want to teach, but for a quick cameo in a high school production that's like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes long, I can do divination. So, rehearsals for that start. Well, I should say, I think rehearsals are already going on. I have to show up at tech rehearsal in 2 weeks. Now, there's part of me... I'm sorry. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I can probably shift this a little closer. We'll see if this helps. That's a fair point. Thank you for the tip. Anyway, so there's part of me that's hoping that I might be able to wear one of my old costumes, because this is the high school that I attended. So there's part of me that is thinking about trying to dig out one of my old dresses that was tailored specifically for me. And then I went, well, it's been 10 years. There's no way I still fit in that thing. So I'm not gonna bother trying. Okay. Look at that. We have our wedges and our stripes. I think these are gonna dry lighter. I sure hope they're gonna dry lighter. I can't talk. Hi, Aaron. Thanks for popping in. Hello. I was talking about Twilight Princess. You missed the whole ordeal. I'm not gonna retell it for you. You'll just have to live with the disappointment. Okay. Well, I'll leave the blue out because I might need to get it back, because some of these wedges are looking a little bit light, so I might need to go over them again. But I think I've settled on, I want purple. I think I want a purple to go with these lovely peacock-ish colors. So the question then becomes, what kind... Hi, Taylor! I'm trying to figure out my purples. So the question becomes if I want orc blood or if I want alien purple. What's this one? Oh, there is also imperial purple. I forgot about that one. Got so many options. Can't see that at all. I don't know why I bothered trying. You know what? Why not? Orc blood it is. So that's what it's gonna look like. Not a ton. Not a ton. Well, maybe a ton. I don't know yet. We're gonna figure it out. But I like the idea of getting a little bit of purple in there. Some cool tones. Peacock-like. Ooh. Okay. So it's got a little bit of a pink to it, which I kind of like. We're gonna commit. We're just gonna go ahead and commit. Murder! Just kidding. No, we're gonna commit to the colors. Because I'm thinking that I would like to try to like I said, this is where the moving staircase is going to be. So if all this hard work gets scraped off, I'm going to be real disappointed. Wow, okay, that turned out way more pink than purple. Not a fan. Don't like it. Don't like it. So... no, I don't like it. I'm gonna have to go over that. I want something with more purple, not something that's that pink. Like that. Like this, right here. That alien purple. Aliens at Hogwarts. Why not? Why the heck not? Okay, well, we'll see if this completely ruins the effect, or if I can cover up. Well, I definitely like that purple better, but I think it's gonna look a little messy for a little bit. I had some... At one time I had a bunch of wooden washers that I could use to test the colors out together, and I don't know where they went. So we're gonna make do. Yeah, that might not work out the way that I thought it would. Oh, guys, we started off so well, and then it became a mess. Well, don't know what else you expected from little old me. Okay. As I'm looking at these together, I'm really feeling putting some purple in those little triangles there. The same alien purple that we have in the middle. I just feel like that would be really nice. This is how you can tell I'm not artistic. I'm just blobbing it all on willy-nilly without a care in the world. It's gonna dry uneven, but apparently I don't care about that. we'll just go ahead and we'll let that dry. Yeah, I'm liking that idea. Get some metallics in here in a second. It's gonna look real nice. I would love to get this whole thing painted tonight. We're gonna try. I'm definitely gonna need to get a bigger brush for some of these areas, but for right now. That's something else I noticed with this. The little cuts for the patterns are not as deep as they were in my other kit. In that one, the lines were a little bit deeper, so they kind of helped block and stop any spreading of paint, which was nice. This piece, at least, the cuts seem a little bit more shallow. So it's not doing as great a job to help me avoid smears. That's all right. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. I wouldn't have guessed that alien purple would have been the color of choice, but what do you know? Here we are. I wonder if they're thinking, no, they probably aren't. This almost looks like Thanos purple to me. And I mean, he's an alien, so that works out just fine. I'm over here having my best vibing life. And that man is next door screaming his lungs out and ruining my groove. That's what that reminds me of. This purple reminds me of, ooh, the orc's blood reminds me of Yzma a little bit. That's what I was thinking of. Just give me some time to get in there with a real fine brush. We'll get those lines looking nice and crisp. Gotta do the base coat first. And you know what? I think for good measure, I'll have to do that when I'm on my break. I think for good measure, because I don't hate the orcs. Like, I don't hate how those go together. I just don't love the idea of using orc's blood in a huge area. But I think I'm gonna put it right here in the middle. Right there. just for a little bit of interest. And as far as I know, this part might get covered up by the moving staircase. So who even knows? Who even knows? Cool. I would love how that would look if the purple parts weren't so patchy. And I know that's my fault for blobbing on more. I get that. But watch me do it anyway. I need to leave it alone. If I keep blobbing more paint on, it's just going to become a mess. Okay. So, what do we have in store next? I mean, I've got the gray out. I could start going with the gray. I was thinking about it, and I don't want to do a lot of dark accents of the gray stone. But I think a little bit of a darker color could really help. Not black, but a darker gray. I'm really thinking that could just kind of help. Unless I want to do... No, I want to do a darker gray. I do. So, we're gonna bust out my friend Uniform Gray, which isn't actually the darkest one I've used, I don't think. It's fine, we'll use this one. Uniform Gray. I don't want to do a ton of, like I said, don't want to do a ton of dark stone, but I like the idea of having a little bit. Oh, that's thick. That's thick. Because see, I'm thinking... There's a fuzz on my brush. I think just that little ring right there, just to kind of help offset. Sorry, it got all quiet, but I gotta focus. sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. Just trying to keep it nice and steady so my hands don't shake around too much. And now we can get some nice ASMR. I'm just kidding. I do not understand ASMR at all. I do not experience the tingles. I think it's really weird when people whisper that close to their mics. The soap cutting thing is really weird. Like, it's a cool effect. I want to cut some soap, but I don't get the tingly appeal. Of ASMR. Guys, he can vault fences. Not Adam. Adam can't vault fences, but somebody can apparently, and it's extremely distressing. Oh, it's so close. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that. Now, I know I said I didn't want a lot of... I understand the coolness of the texture, and I definitely want to try it. I just don't get the physiological reaction. Anyway, so I know I said I wasn't going to do a lot of Darkstone, but I think I changed my mind. Because what I'm thinking could look really good is if this... I'm kind of feeling like this edge here should be the same gray as this little ring in the middle. And it's kind of weird because they're kind of vectoring in with each other, but I don't really care. I feel like that will help it stick out a little bit more and be a little bit more prominent. But if I'm gonna do that, I need a bigger brush because I'm not messing with that. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening next door, but he's apparently very distraught. So I'm gonna use this brush. It doesn't have a taper to it. It's more just flat and straight. And I'm hoping it's fairly clean because I know I used this one on my other book Nook, but I just feel like this will help me get the most coverage with the least amount of wasted effort. So, I think... Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. It's good, it's good. I think I might go back in with the finer brush to get some of the edges and help them be a little more tidy. But this at least gives the wider coverage that I need for these wider areas. absolute maverick I am. I think in my head I was thinking, oh, well, I'll just blob a bunch of paint on there, and then I can just drag it down into the areas that I need it to go. And I didn't really consider that, well, there's still going to be some pools where it's still too thick. Okay. So I'm going to get my finer brush again, just to get into the corner. Just trying to get these edges a little cleaner. The big brush was okay. Not perfect, but it's okay. This is definitely not some kind of altar to the Illuminati in my magic wizard school. It's definitely not. Oh no! You guys, I should have been doing like black and yellow this whole time, and I should have made it a Bill cipher. Oh. Boo. Talk about a missed opportunity. Oh well. Okay. I am extremely happy with that choice. I think that looks pretty good. Just a little bit of edging there. It still looks super sloppy, but we're gonna fix that in just a sec. Okay. Good. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a mistake, but I'm gonna do it. Should have done this the whole time with the big brush. Okay. Don't go crazy, don't go crazy. Okay. There we go. All right, so now the question is, oh, I thought there was more drink in there. There's not. Okay, so now the question is, where exactly do I want the metallic parts to go? I'm not sure. Although I will say now, I'm looking at this and I think this edge is also going to be visible. And I'm leaning toward... Well, first off, I'm leaning toward cleaning this up again. I'm leaning toward doing this darker gray on the very edge as well. But Chelsea, you said you weren't going to do a lot of the dark stone. I know what I said. I think I changed my mind. I just feel like that could look nice. I just feel like it could be good. I'll wait on that part. I'll wait on the very edge until I get the little bricks filled in. So, every time I think I'm done, I find another ragged edge. Okay. Calling it now. Not messing with that triangle anymore. Which is what Dipper should have said about Bill Cipher. Okay. So, now the question is, what do I want to do about this bit? If I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to do it all metallic. I kind of want to pull out a metallic. Get the big old box of paints out. Again. I think we can put away our deep blue and our Wizard's Orb teal. I think we're done with those. No, there's no sort of organization to this box. We just throw everything in where we can find space. So... I'm just not... I forgot about this bronze. Oh no, I like this bronze. I like it. It's a good one. And it shimmers too, but I don't think I want to use that too much. I really want to go with kind of a gold. We're gonna commit with that. Now this technically says can't read it, but it says dragon bronze technically. But this is a very nice brassy gold color. And I think, yeah, I do. I want to go ahead and make that whole exterior. I want to make it this. So, uh-oh. We might be out of this stuff. I might have to save it. No, there's still some in there. I can hear it. Oh, it feels like there's a clog. And, oh, yes. We do, in fact, have a paper clip in case of clogged bottles. Well, it worked a little. Ah, there we go. That did it. That did the trick. For reference, and it's not great because this yellow light is not grand. That's kind of what it looks like. So I'm thinking I want to put this stuff, I think I want to put it in here. Around the purple wedges. And in between the parts that are the gray stone. I feel like that would look really, really nice. And then I can use some brighter metallics in the very middle. Because this one's pretty, I think this is the most subtle of the, warmer metallics? I don't know what you'd call them. The ones that aren't silver. This one's pretty subtle. Can you see that shimmer at all? There's a little bit. It looks real nice. It looks really, really nice. I love that. I'm using the big brush for coverage purposes, but it's not the most precise. So I'm trying really hard to angle it so that it doesn't make too wide of a streak. Technique that I used on the outside. I'll go in with the fine brush in a second. I really need the coverage. Nice quick coverage. Does not wipe off super easily, but I should be able to go back and get any specific spots. A little bit bigger. You know, it just occurred to me that earlier I said I didn't want to go for a Mardi Gras theme, and yet here I am going with green and purple and gold. And it's Mardi Gras colors. Oh, well. It's fine. I like it. I'm gonna have to do a lot of spots. But I think that looks fantastic. I'm sorry you're not getting the full effect of the colors here. I think that looks phenomenal. So let me go in here with my little brush. So I can get these little corners, these finer areas. thinking of it, just want to throw out a quick reminder that this is a bi-weekly series. So next Friday I have Pathfinder, but the following Friday, which will be the first Friday of March, I will be back. In case you just didn't get enough and you just gotta have more. Nice and shiny. I like that a lot. Little patches. Sometimes the shimmer doesn't spread very evenly. But it looks like we did an okay job there. Nice and shiny. I don't know why I cleaned this off. I think I'm gonna throw a little bit more of this in the center here, the very center. I might need a finer brush. I guess we're gonna find out. So far, so good. It's not super noticeable, but it's just enough shine. We're gonna go crazy with the more vibrant stuff here in a second, but I'm just gonna fill in.
I know it sounds silly, dear, but do it for me, please.
Go back over that purple again, but just a little shine, just a little bit in the middle there. Looks good. Looks quite nice. Now I can't tell. Yeah, it looks like this corner needs a little bit more. Like I said, the glitter doesn't get evenly distributed all the time. Sometimes we don't get as much shine. Or it just dried and now I've made it even more ridiculous. So I've got to go over a little bit of the gray. I did smear a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna do a little bit more metallic here in the middle, and then the center mosaic will be done, and then we'll be able to just move on to the bricks on the outside. Nice. Well, I guess I'll go ahead now and try to patch up some of these areas where the gold got on there. I agree. I think that once the electronic... I mean, I'm just looking at how it shines. You guys, unfortunately, are not getting the full effect. I'm just looking at how it's shining in my lamp. And it's just nice. And I think that those little tiny lamps are just going to give it... ooh, just a pop. Or it's going to give them a little bit of a pop. Now, this is the part where it gets a little bit weird. If you weren't able to log on to my pilot stream on Wednesday, you didn't get to hear about the weird part about this. Yeah, I forgot about that part. I'm sorry, Will. But That's what you get for your defective eyes. Anyway, so there are a bunch of mirror panels in this kit, and I think that the mirror panels are meant to be the steps of the stairs, and I think that they're supposed to give the effect that the stairs are floating because they will be reflecting the floor to make it look like the stairs are not like attached to anything. So between those mirrors and these metallic elements, I feel like the lighting is really gonna pop. And you know what? If the lines are not entirely crisp, it is what it is. We'll get it as near to perfect as possible. I know I keep getting all quiet. I'm real sorry. I just need to focus. Especially on the little tiny parts. Oh yes, there's a little bit more over here. When in doubt, just keep slapping layers of paint over it until the problem goes away. That's my motto with makeup too. All right, and I'm gonna go back in and touch up. There were a couple of areas in the purple. I don't think the triangles are so bad, but the middle here just got a little bit mucked up. I don't know that mucked is the right word when talking about glitter application, but and wouldn't you know it, this alien purple doesn't give a great coverage over glitter. It's going to be covered by a moving staircase anyway, so it's fine. I have no idea how I'm going to get that staircase together. This is going to end up being a very long series because, like I said, I want to paint everything before I start assembling it. And as we've noticed, the painting itself takes quite a long time. So the assembly, well, that's not going to be for a while. That's as good as it's gonna get. But I like it. I like it a lot. I'm very happy with it. So I'm gonna take a super quick break. I need to wash out my palette so that I can put more colors in. So I'll be back like 2 or 3 minutes. If you want to stick around, we'll be getting on to some more metallics here in the center, and then once we get the middle metallics done, then we'll be ready to do the bricks on the outside. So we're making really good progress. This did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. Very minimal issues. So I will be right back with a fresh palette and a fresh drink. And we're back. So, I went next door and I asked about the screaming. Evidently, Adam is doing his own stream right now because he does not suck at video games. And I told him that he was throwing off our groove and he was messing up our tranquility and ruining our vibes. And he laughed at me and then said, I'm sending people your way. So, if you're here for his stream, hi. I think I am now obligated to do a cross promotion, so he's currently playing Hunt. If you are interested in watching him do that with his friends, you can go look up Gray Union Jack. The Gray is spelled with an E. Union and Jack are spelled like you think they'd be spelled. And he's trying to get into video game streaming, but I'm not about that life. So anyway, that's what the screaming was about, which is a good thing. And oh my goodness, has it been this cold in this room? One sec. Oh no! The space heater's not plugged in. I thought that was a thing I could do. It is not. So we're just gonna have to go into full old lady mode. And bundle up. This lovely thing was made by Green Tree Weaving, if you're interested. It's very nice. Just a little something extra. I didn't think it would coordinate this well with this color shirt, but it does. Lovely. Loverly. Alright. I tried my best to clean out the palette. It's not spotless, but I didn't feel like scrubbing it down right now because we've got more things to paint. So, what were we gonna do? The metallics on the inside. That's right. So we're gonna say goodbye to the Dragon Bronze. I think I would like to... I know I want to do some silver. I for sure want some silver, but I also kind of want a really bright gold. And I'm not sure if I want the weapon bronze, which is a little more orange tinted, or the greedy gold, which I just don't tend to like as much. I think the weapon bronze. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. So, all that we've got left in the mosaic in the middle, we've got this little ring here around the spiral pattern. Right there. And it's got some very fine detailing. And what I think I want to do is I think I want to do a ring of the bronze and then silver. And then these little rectangle bits I think I want to do with a little bit more of the bronze and possibly a darker silver. Because we've got a couple options. We've got shining silver, which is almost like aluminum foil looking. And then we have gunmetal, which is a very dark gray silver. And this one is extremely cool. I tend to go for this for my metallics on my miniatures more often than anything else because I just think it looks really, really, really nice. But we've also got the plate mail, which is midway. So what I think I might do... I don't know right now. I think I might go with plate mail and maybe some gunmetal in some of the finer details. But I definitely want to use the weapon bronze. I definitely want to use that because I think it'll provide enough of a contrast from the other bronze, the dragon bronze here. I don't know. We'll see. So far, my ideas have been somewhat acceptable, so I'm gonna follow my heart. very similar metallic shimmer to this Dragon Bronze, but this is actually Army, this is the Army Painter War Paints brand. And the other one that we got is from... Oh, Bones. This is a Bones brand bottle. We have a combination. We have a lot of bottles that we purchased before we got the big kit, back when we were just starting out, and so we just kind of mashed them all together. Most of our bottles we purchased from Epic Loot, which is the game and hobby shop that is over in Centerville, very close to us. So we like to patron there and go there for all of our lovely paints. Most recently, I had to go get paints for that big old bird I was telling you about. I'll show it on here sometime. Ooh, that's something I still need to do. I still need to do the base of the big
I'll be
bird.
back in 10 minutes.
Even 10 minutes is a long time.
Adam was
to be
gonna do
away
it,
from
but I don't think he's actually gonna finish it, so I'll just have to do it. With you fine folks. Again, I don't know that putting the water in the paint actually makes a difference for the wood, but I prefer to have more of an inky consistency to the paint, and I think that that just gives better control. Okay, this shawl was fun, but it's actually too restrictive of my movement, so I'm not gonna be able to do that. Okay. So I'm thinking this is gonna go right here. I forgot that this weapon bronze tends to separate. The glitter tends to separate a lot from the solvent. Which isn't a big deal, it just means more mixing. So it's just different enough that it stands out and is not the same as the dragon bronze. Not trying to brag, but that went extremely well. All right, you gotta go somewhere else. Goodbye. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my original vision. So my original vision was that these tiny little diamond shapes, these little rhombus shapes in the middle here, in there. I want to do those in the same bronze that I did here. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull out my gunmetal silver, and I think I'm going to pull out my plate mail silver. And I think I'm going to use the gunmetal right around each of those little rhombuses, and I'm going to use the plate mail as the kind of grout that's in between all of them. I think they'll be different enough that you'll be able to see them stand out. So it'll be these two together. So this is the one that's going to go and be the most visible. And I don't want to use the shining silver. I just think it's a little too bright. I don't know. I don't want to use that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the plate mail metal first, because if I make any mistakes, that'll be the easier one to cover over, especially if I get into any of those fine little rectangle motifs. It'll be a lot easier to just cover that up afterwards, rather than trying to, bounce back and forth. And I keep saying I'm gonna go to a finer brush. I'm gonna stick with this one just because I've got a good feel for it right now, and I don't really want to switch. I think this one's working out pretty well for me. So, there we go. That's better. That's better, isn't it? Please enjoy the music while I concentrate very hard on these very delicate little lines. My cats are killing each other. A good pet parent would go out and check on them. Just gonna let them just kill each other out in the hallway. I went to the kitchen to get my drink, and they're both sitting there just waiting for food, and it's like, no guys, it's not even close. And with both Adam and I streaming, they're just not getting the attention they deserve. Poor babies. I'm sorry, I keep moving this thing farther away from your view. ruin everything I've worked for by slopping paint everywhere. Kitties, can you not? Can you not, please? Okay. This is definitely turning out way more elaborate than I originally imagined, but I kind of like it. I got one smudge in my weapon bronze, so I gotta go back. Gotta go back over that. But other than that, it was pretty painless. Yeah, everything else looks really good. So, the next thing I'm gonna do is get my gunmetal. And this is the darker, kind of a steely gray. Silver, I should say, because it is metallic. So, I'm gonna use this. And I gotta fill in these teeny tiny little rectangles around these little rhombuses. I'm gonna fill it in with that one. And I think I am gonna go ahead and break down. I am gonna go ahead and use a smaller brush. Just because I don't want... I've come too far. I don't want to screw this up. So... yeah, you'll do the trick. This'll work just nice. Can you even see that? Look how tiny it is. This is known as the Wargamer Insane Detail Brush. I don't think I've ever touched this one. I know that Adam has, because Adam does insane detail with teeny tiny brushes. I typically just take, like, this thing, and I try to do all kinds of teeny tiny little things with that. Hasn't really failed me yet, so... I'm personally still proud of the fact that I did paint a whole miniature with only one brush. Just because I was lazy. And I'm pretty sure it was actually this brush. This one. So... except that one was just like one eyelash though, wasn't it? The permanent paint one, it was like one tiny eyelash. I think we have one. No. scratch that. Adam wanted to get one that was even smaller than this, but they were out. Like, they were sold out. And I think it was just like the SpongeBob episode where it was like 1 bristle or maybe 2 bristles, and that was it. And he couldn't end up getting it. So he was pretty bummed. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel with all of this paint. You know, it just occurred to me, I'm gonna have to go get fresh water again before I start doing the stones, because my water is shimmery. It's so glittery. And that's not gonna go well for my plain, boring stone floor. So, I'm going to go get more water, but not right now. Okay. So again, this is the gunmetal. This is the plate mail. So you see that they're close, but there's enough of a difference that the gunmetal will stand out. Especially if it's such a small area. I think it'll really stand out. But this is gonna take some more concentration. Counted how many of these rectangles I have to do. Oh well. I need to remember to breathe. I was holding my breath. I'm like, don't upset the paint. Don't upset it. Don't make it nervous. If I hold my breath this entire time, I am going to pass out. I need to make sure I breathe. Now, in retrospect, it might have been cool to pick another jewel tone paint and to make it like gemstones around the middle. But I kind of prefer the metallics. I kind of like the metal. I prefer metal over gems. This is a very stressful song for trying to do delicate painting. It reminds me of none of you probably know, the Kahoot music. It's supposed to be soothing, but energizing at the same time, but it's just a little too plinky plunky to be either, and it just stresses me out. I don't know that you're able to see it very well, but that's what we've got so far. So you can see the gunmetal is a little bit darker to make it stand out from the lighter plate mail metal. And the good news is the super delicate brush is working just fine. kind of in general. Like, I've noticed when I'm making breakfast, I feel like I'm going too slowly. But in my mind, it's like, well, I'm being very exact. I'm being very precise to get everything the way that I want it. And if I rush, then it won't be as good as if I take my time. It's just weird to me that I have those thoughts at like breakfast time, you know? Like breakfast is ordinary. It's not anything earth-shattering. But like here, it helps to be a little bit slower. Get all the fine details down. And don't splash. So yeah, so you can kind of see it a little bit right in there. It's not going to be super dramatic, but I think it's going to help this bronze pop when I put that bronze in the center of each rectangle. Yes, this is what we signed up for when we decided to watch this stream. Teeny tiny little triangles. Teeny tiny triangles. The teensiest. Okay, this is supposed to be royalty-free music, and it's entirely possible that I just have Zelda on the brain, but I feel like I'm hearing the, like, Song of the Wind or whatever in the background. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Like, I feel like I'm definitely hearing that. But then again, I could just be imagining things. Hey, if you look in the chat right now, you'll see Gray Union Jack's tag. So if you're interested in watching him stream Hunt, you can go check him out. There, I've plugged his stream twice now. I've done my wifely duty. Now back to my triangles. Oh my gosh, I thought I was so much farther. I feel like they're multiplying. Like every time I'm like, yeah, I'm 75% of the way there. Then I look and it's like, oh no. But actually, not really. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just having a little bit of a crisis over these triangles. almost went in the wrong metal. Wrong silver. Four more. Oh, so close. There we go. Yeah, that's all of them. Okay. I can't believe we're almost done. Like I said, we've got these little tiny rhombuses left to do. And then it's just the rest of this, guys, and then we're done. With the floor. We still got a lot of other stuff to paint, but no, with the floor. Alright, so going back to the weapon bronze now, which is this one. And it's going to match the ring on the outside, but I think that's just going to be a nice little continuation of the colors. I'm counting. I'm counting all the little spots. I'm up to 20 now. So that is 20. Right there. $40. Okay, I counted 48 of these stupid rhombuses, which I may have miscounted. It's entirely possible that I lost count, but if it's only 48, I'm mad, because that's not even a good round number. I hate it. It's the worst. Okay. Alright. There we have it. The center is done. the metallics turned out great. The metallics have great coverage. The colored bits don't look as good. I might need to go back over those and try non-diluted paint over the blues and the teals, because it just looks a little unfinished, especially when you look at the sheen of the metallics around it. So I'm gonna have to think about that. But what this means is we are now ready to move on to the brick. Well, it's not actually brick. I'm gonna be using gray, so it's gonna be more like stone rather than brick. So we can put our metallics away. So just a reminder, because it's been a hot second, we have Arctic Gray, and we're going to be alternating between Arctic Gray and Ash Gray. And what I have found works really well with making stone pattern is not to alternate them equally and to be a little bit more random when you disperse them. And that just makes it look a little more natural and not as like cartoony. I'm not going to use any more of this uniform gray. I'm going to save that. I might use it for the border out here, but it's not going to go in any of these because I want these to be distinctly different from the middle. And these will look pretty close, but there will be enough of a difference that it'll be like, oh, okay. Okay, I see what we're going for here. See, Arctic and Ash Gray. So they're both fairly light, but the Arctic Gray is bordering almost more on white, or just extremely pale. Okay, I don't think I trust this brush for this task. Well, because it's got more of a square tip, it actually might work better for right-angled rectangles, because there are non-right-angled rectangles, obviously. I don't teach math. I don't need to know. Okay. I'm going to start off with the Ash Gray. Like I said, I'm not following a specific pattern other than the fact that I don't want all of these to be the same. That's what I'm going for. Oh, this one's a little too ragged for super precise. Well, I'll use this one for the Ash Gray, and then I'll go back over with I'll find a different brush that can do the other ones. So again, I'm not alternating, like every other stone is the same shade of gray, but I'm also trying not to cluster too many of them together. This one's not in great shape. I've been a little too rough with them. Yeah, I'm gonna need a different brush later. But yeah, so as you can see, we're trying to keep them fairly evenly distributed. Some of them will touch, but a lot of them will be separate from each other. I prefer to try to use 3 different... Oh dear. I think the effect looks best with 3 different grays, but in this particular instance, I don't want to overpower my center mosaic. So, I'm just going to stick with the 2 of them. It'll still look good. It'll just not be as dramatic. Oh, I'm smearing. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Gosh, I am just blobbing everything on. Soak it all up. Like I said, it's not a specific pattern. We're not going... I say we like I'm Bob Ross teaching. I'm not going every other one. I'm just kind of trying to find a good distribution so that they are distributed well enough and they're not all necessarily touching one another. But it's not also forming a really cheesy looking pattern. Perfect, non-messy painting. You're in the wrong place. I am smudging like nobody's business. I'm sorry I ruined your night. I won't darken your door ever again. I'm sorry, I thought we were all just here to have a good time and vibe. Apparently I was wrong. Apparently I misread the situation. It would be better if I weren't stubbornly using this very ragged, very used, worn out brush, but I'm committed at this point. I'm just gonna keep doing it. more paint. My Arctic Gray is running out. I don't actually know how much is left in that bottle, because that was one of the first paints we ever bought. I've had it for a long time, so I might be using the very last of it here. It shows up so much lighter on the screen than what it looks like in front of me, but
Do you think Boo Radley ever really comes and looks in my window at night?
don't know who that small child was, but didn't much appreciate their input. Find a better brush. Next up, next order of business. Singing sea shanties now.
Check.
I'll get to him with those suggestions, Will. Thank you. He's really been into it lately, and apparently that's a trending thing right now, is sea shanties. I sort of get it, because it's a very Ren Fair thing to do, but I also don't get it, because I'm like, please stop. Anyway, so that's the Arctic Gray. A little messy, but I'm gonna find a better brush, and any splotches will get covered up with the slightly darker ash gray. Thank you, square brush. You've served me well. Put the insane detailer away. Oh, this is the one I should have been... Oh. This is the one I should have been using the whole time, but it's all crispy. Uh-oh. Nope, not that one. Well, this one might work. It's got a round tip. I was going to use this one that's got more of a chisel tip to it. But it's a little crispy, which tells me that it's just going to be too stiff. Although, no, you know what? What the hell? We'll give it a go with the chisel tip brush. We'll see how that fares. I feel like that's a better bet. Definitely a better bet than the raggedy square tip one that I was too rough with. I might need him later, but I think we're set with this chisel tip. Thank you all for sticking with me this long. I think I'm gonna get this thing done because there's just a couple bricks left and then the edge and then just some touching up, so I think... Oh no! I just realized I didn't go get fresh water, so there's glitter all mixed in here that's then getting mixed in on my brush and getting mixed in with the paint. Oh well. It's just magic. It's just more magical. Anyway, but thank you all for coming by to the first part. This is pretty much what it's gonna be. Now we're gonna have a lot of other... There's gonna be some parts that go a lot faster that don't require as much detail. And like I said, there's some parts that I'm just gonna do to prep beforehand, but I just really felt like the floor was a nice place to start, and I appreciate you coming here and bearing with me while I do this and checking it out. So, we're gonna go in with the ash gray now, and I'm gonna start down here at the bottom just because it's closer to me. So it's definitely, the chisel tip is definitely working well. It's a little streaky, which I think is simply because of the stiffness of the bristles. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I can do about that. So, I'm gonna live with it. I will say that this chisel tip is not as efficient as my other brush was. Efficient's not the right word. I'm going slower. And it's mostly just to... Oh, there we go. There we go. Loosen up, buddy. I'm going slower, and it's mostly because I want to be really, really precise with this one so that I can cover up any accidents from the Arctic gray. Anybody who is an artist who just watched me bend the hell out of my bristles is probably cringing at my mistreatment of brushes. No, this one's not doing it for me. I'm gonna get that rounder tip brush It's just, it's streaky. I don't like the coverage. I'm not happy with it. And I don't know if it's because of the bristles or what, but I should say I don't know if it's because of the stiffness or because of something else, but I just am not liking it. So we're gonna try this one instead. Now this one can do edges pretty nicely. It's just gonna take more time than if I had a brush with a straight edge rather than a round one. But as I've said, I have nowhere else to be right now. So I can work with it. I said with such confidence, and now I'm like, I don't like this one either. I think I have to go back to that chisel tip brush. It was streaky, but like, it got done fast, and the coverage was better. Chisel tip brush it is. I think it's loosened up a little, but okay, good. That was the right color. I was worried for a second that I had dumped like uniform gray, like the really dark gray, into the same pot and had ruined everything. Okay. My brushes are giving me such... Oh my goodness. Fibers. They're giving me such grief. These brushes are. Trying to console myself that this is the near to last stage. And then the floor will be done. Like I was saying earlier, normally what I like to do is I like to do these two and then also alternate them with a darker gray just to add a little bit more dimension, but I've committed. I'm gonna stick with these two different shades. And it still gives a cool effect. The three shades of gray just really helps add a little bit more. But because I've used the darker uniform gray already, I don't wanna overuse that. I want the middle to stand out. It's not going as smoothly as I thought it would. There's a lot of bare wood that's poking through. But I'm just gonna live with it. I'm just gonna have to live with it. Fingers starting to cramp up a little bit. Ugh. We're good. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. I should have come up with more topics to discuss other than just Legend of Zelda. I'm so soothed that I'm about to fall asleep. Slowly but surely, I am bound and determined that I'm gonna get this thing done. I'm gonna paint the whole thing before we sign off on this stream. Bound and determined. It's not a school night. I don't have a curfew. I've just got bricks to paint. Not good for the posture, this painting business. Okay. You know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna put the chisel brush aside for 1 sec, and we can just put it there. Gonna get my fine detail brush out again because there's a lot of these partial stones around this mosaic, and I just think I should be a little more delicate with those because I keep slopping onto the part that I've already finished. And I don't really want to have to keep going back over that. Okay. This was a good decision. Like these straight edge ones I don't care so much about, but there's a couple that are at an angle that I just want to go through and hit with the fine tip brush. There's a little tiny triangle hiding right here. Oh boy, so many triangles. So many angled lines. Okay. we're good with the fine-tipped brush. Okay, so back to our chiselly boy here. Awful lot of bald spots. Just bare wood, just showing right through. Oh well. From afar, you're not gonna be able to tell. Like I said, I don't know about all of you, but this is, to me, a pretty... I was gonna say contenting. I don't think that's the word I was looking for. I don't know that that is a word, but I can't think of the other word that I would use at this point. Comforting, maybe? I don't know. I'm very content right now. Just the vibes and the mindless creativity of painting teeny tiny rectangles. Or of my ash gray. So you can see why. I've had to refill 3 times from this bottle, so you can see why it's not a good idea to try to use these tiny paints to paint really large areas. Especially if those areas are just bare and have no detail. Which is why I'm going to spray paint a lot of the pieces that, you know, aren't necessarily going to be seen in great detail. If that's cheating, then witty line lost. That's what the water looks like. I keep forgetting. At this point, I figure it's already gray, so, like, why not? It's already gross. I don't really want to get up again. I want to get this floor done. It's like when we were... It's like when we were doing our floors in our house. Just want to get it done, damn it! Now, I'm looking at all this, and I'm like, oh, this all looks kind of flat. Now, the problem is, because this is, in fact, a flat piece of wood, there's not a lot of nooks and crannies that could hold on to a wash the same way that we could if we had, like, a mini, a three-dimensional figure that we could use and give light wash to. So it's just gonna look a little bit flat, but thank you again to those of you who are sticking around. I hope this provides all of the fun and thrills that you were promised. If anyone has just joined in, we're looking at this point, about 3 hours worth of work. But we're almost done. We're getting there. We just got a little bit left. And then some patching up to do, and then the floor will be done. Oh, there was a little bit that I didn't get with the tiny brush, and now I've ruined everything. Scrapped the whole project. Everything's ruined. It's kind of got a very, I don't know, almost a Disney feel to it, with just the two different fairly light tones of gray. I was hoping to kind of avoid that, but you know what? As long as the mosaic in the middle stands out, that's kind of all that matters. Getting to the final stretch. Sort of. Oh, so close, I can taste it. Tastes like paint water. Just a quick reminder, because I'm thinking of it. I'll be back in 2 weeks, right here, and we're going to work on another part of our Magic School book nook. All right. Finally. There we have it. Not spectacular, but I like the alternating tones of the gray. Just kind of makes it look a little bit more dynamic than all one shade. There's a few parts that are kind of bald, but at this point I'm just gonna have to accept that this wood just doesn't really want to hold on to specific colors, and I'm gonna have to be fine with that. It's possible that I wouldn't have this same patchiness if I used the acrylic paints that actually came in the kit, but I like these army paints better. Okay, so last order of business, I need to patch up a few things in the dark gray border, and then I'm going to put the same dark gray around the very edge, and then the floor will be complete. So I'm gonna just throw a little bit more of the uniform gray in my palette. Gross. And we will just finish that off. There were just a few places where I got a little too rambunctious with the lighter grays of the floor. And now I'm getting too rambunctious with this uniform gray, because why not just undo all the work that I spent the last 3 hours laboring over? Okay, I think that's patched up there. Just trying to keep lines clean as much as possible. And the final touch, and then the floor is done. Just gonna... I don't even know if these edges are going to be visible. I'm going to assume that they will be, at least a little bit. And I feel like it's better to paint them and have them covered than to not paint them and have them be exposed with bare wood, which might look just kind of bleh. Now that we have the other gray, I am in love with this little medallion in the middle. I am so happy with how it turned out. It doesn't look spectacular on the lighting. It looks a little bit pale in the middle, but I don't even know that I need to go back over the green and the blue parts. I honestly think that I can just leave them the way they are. And I think they coordinate really well with that purple. metallics just make it look so vibrant. In wet paint. Oh boy. Probably got some fingerprints on something. Great. I think it's fine. I don't think I... Guys, we got it. I'm a little shocked that I did in fact get the whole thing done, the whole floor done. 3 hours, but absolutely worth it. I am very happy with how this turned out. And I definitely agree with my friends in the chat who mentioned that the metallic elements are just going to sparkle once we get the electrics in. So, yeah. So there we go. All done. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for next time. So I've got 2 weeks to kind of figure out a plan. I'm definitely going to, well, I shouldn't say definitely. I need to spray paint, like I said, but I think I need to wait until it gets a little bit warmer, just because pressurized cans are a little bit funny that way. No, I know what I was gonna do. I think we're gonna try to do some doors next. Paint some doors that will be set into the walls, and try to figure out exactly how those are going to have to be constructed. They're not three-dimensional, but I don't know exactly where they go. So we'll probably do that next time and start painting some doors. And go from there. Yeah. I'm really nervous about the gears. I'm really nervous about constructing the actual staircase, but at this point, I am just happy to have this beautiful piece for my staircase to rest on. And I think the whole thing is gonna look great. It actually feels real now. Like I have like the floor done. This is the floor that you're gonna see on the Book Nook, and I actually have it finished. So I actually haven't looked to see if this will fit. I'm worried this is gonna be too large to actually fit on here. I won't worry about that now, but yay! Oh my gosh. So that's it. My first stream is all done. If for some reason you feel like you would like to go back and watch any part of this process, I am going to be posting footage of the stream down in or at my YouTube channel. We'll see if YouTube lets me have the whole thing or if I need to trim it down. We'll see how it goes. But I'm because this is such a large project and a large kit, I want to keep all of the steps for posterity. And if anyone wants to go back and, you know, just relive the magic, or if anybody wants to have just some good vibes in the background for some reason, then YouTube will be available for that. So I really appreciate all of you who stuck with me for the whole stream. If you just popped in, then thank you for doing so. If you were here and you left, then you're not hearing my voice, but I still appreciate your support. And I look forward to sharing the rest of this project with you. So this is going to be so exciting. It actually feels real. Like, it actually feels real. Like, I did it. First stream episode. I got the floor done. Everything's great. So, wonderful. Be safe. Stay warm. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for tuning in. And I hope to see you all again in 2 weeks. What date would that be? March the something. I'll see you all in March when I come back for my next episode. Thank you all again so much. Take care.